Everyone thought this dog was just sitting there, but he was actually waiting for someone who might never return. Still, he didn't leave. Not even once. And this is why his story touched so many hearts. The rain fell quietly that evening, tapping gently against the window, creating a soft and steady rhythm that filled the small, silent house. On the floor near the door, a boy sat still, hugging his knees, his eyes fixed on the entrance as if he was waiting for something or someone. Next to him, a small brown dog sat calmly, its eyes looking in the same direction. The boy's name was Ethan. The dog's name was Lucky. Neither of them spoke, but somehow they were both waiting for the same person. The dog who waited forever. 5 years earlier, life felt different. It was a warm afternoon and sunlight covered the streets with a gentle glow. Ethan had just moved to a new neighborhood, leaving behind everything familiar. His friends were gone. His school was gone. And slowly the laughter in his life disappeared too. His parents were busy most of the time, working long hours trying to build a better future. But in that quiet effort, they didn't notice how lonely their son had become. One day on his way home from school, Ethan heard a faint sound. It was soft, almost lost in the noise of the street. A small whimper. He stopped walking. Then slowly he followed the sound into a narrow alley. There, beside a pile of old boxes, he saw a tiny puppy. The puppy was dirty, thin, and shaking slightly as if it had been alone for a long time. Ethan stood there for a moment, not moving. Then he slowly walked closer. "It's okay," he said gently, his voice low and careful. The puppy looked at him. Its eyes were full of fear, but also something else. Something like hope. That was the moment everything began. Ethan bent down and carefully picked the puppy up, holding it close to his chest. "You're not alone anymore," he whispered. "At home things were not easy. We can't keep a dog," his father said, shaking his head slowly. "We have too many things to worry about already." Ethan stood still, holding the puppy tightly. "But he has no one," he said quietly. "I can take care of him. I will do everything." There was a short silence. His mother looked at him, then at the small puppy in his arms. Finally, she let out a soft breath. "All right," she said. "But this is your responsibility." That day the puppy got a name. Lucky. Because somehow, in a quiet and unexpected way, they had found each other. From that moment they were always together. Lucky followed Ethan everywhere, step by step, room by room, never too far, never too close. Every morning, Lucky would sit beside Ethan's bed, waiting patiently for him to wake up. Every afternoon he would sit near the gate, watching the road, waiting for Ethan to come home. No matter how long it took, he always waited. Time passed slowly but steadily. Ethan grew older, taller, and busier. But Lucky stayed the same. Quiet. Loyal. Always there. Whenever Ethan felt tired or upset, Lucky would sit beside him without making a sound. He didn't try to fix anything. He didn't try to understand everything. He simply stayed. And sometimes that was enough. One evening Ethan came home feeling disappointed. "I tried my best," he said, placing his bag on the floor. "But it wasn't enough." Lucky walked closer and gently rested his head on Ethan's knee. Ethan looked down. "Why do you always stay with me?" he asked softly. Lucky moved his tail slowly. For him there was no question. Staying was the only thing he knew. As time went on, life began to change again. Ethan's father found a new job in another city. "It's a good opportunity," he said. "We need to move." Ethan didn't say anything at first. Then quietly he asked, "Can Lucky come with us?" The answer came slowly. "The apartment doesn't allow pets," his mother said. The room became silent. Ethan looked at Lucky, who was sitting calmly beside him, unaware of what was being decided. "He's not just a dog," Ethan said, his voice lower now. He's family. But sometimes even when something matters, it still cannot stay. The day they left arrived quietly. There were no loud words. No long conversations. Only a heavy feeling that stayed in the air. Ethan knelt down and held Lucky close. "I will come back," he said, his voice almost a whisper. "Just wait for me." Lucky looked at him. He didn't understand the words. But he understood the feeling. As the car slowly moved away, Lucky ran after it. Step after step. Faster and faster. Until the distance became too great. Then he stopped. Not barking. Not crying. Just standing there looking at the road that was now empty. Days passed. Then weeks. Then months. Every morning Lucky walked to the gate and sat down. Every evening he returned to the same place. The weather changed. The seasons passed. But his routine stayed the same. People sometimes stopped and looked at him. They didn't understand why he stayed there every day. But Lucky wasn't just waiting. He was holding on to something. A memory. A promise. A feeling that had never left him. Years later, Ethan came back. He was no longer a child. Life had taken him far away, filling his days with responsibilities and changes. But somewhere inside him there was still a quiet memory. A promise he had not forgotten. He stood at the end of the street, looking at the place that once felt like home. Then he took a step forward. "Lucky," he called softly. For a moment nothing happened. Then in the distance a figure appeared. Slow. Careful. An old dog. Lucky stopped a few steps away. He looked at Ethan as if trying to understand. As if trying to be sure. Ethan slowly knelt down. "I came back," he said quietly. There was a short pause. Then Lucky moved forward. Not fast. Not like before. But with everything he had left. Lucky rested his head in Ethan's arms. His breathing was slow and soft. Ethan held him gently. "You waited," he said. Lucky's tail moved slightly. Just once. That night, under a quiet sky, Lucky closed his eyes. And this time he didn't open them again. Some promises are not forgotten. Some love does not need words. And sometimes, the deepest connection in life comes from someone who simply stays. Thank you for listening. If this story stayed with you, please like and subscribe for more English stories that are simple, meaningful, and easy to follow. See you in the next story.